Hello and welcome back to more Brave Frontier. So this video is gonna be a little bit, I guess shorter than the others I've been making. And I'll get into that once I actually get into the game, so give me just like a moment to do that. Okay, so back in the game. Again, I've been doing the, logging campaign for Brave Exvius, which, fun fact, Brave Frontier is still doing the collaboration, but over for Brave Exvius, which I find kind of interesting, honestly, but, okay. Really quick, let me check the news. Okay, the only thing new is there's, words hard. July bundles, and it's pretty self-explanatory where you get, 2 summon tickets, 3 fortune boxes, 3 imp sets, and a Guardian's Authority level 2 Elgift, which is, I think, 15% boost to max HP and defense. Or 3 summon tickets, 5 fortune boxes, 2 burst emperors, and a Guardian's Authority, or... I just want to have some gems on here. What happened? Check my gems. Exchange 2 gems for 1 summon ticket. Oh, I'm going to pick up the gem that I got yesterday. The logging campaign. Oh, that reminds me. No, I picked it up. I should. Okay, something weird's happening. I guess I'll address that here in a bit. After the recording. But yeah. So there's really not a whole lot else new to go over. I mean, there's still quite a bit I need to go over, like the arena, more guild stuff, which is probably stuff I'm going to cover during a live stream. But not this guild season, next guild season, so there's that. More stuff from the Imperial Capital I need to talk about, Rage Battle I need to talk about, and there are various things in the Vortex Gate that I want to talk about, but only when they become relevant. So for today, I'm gonna go and just do more story progression. And I'm actually gonna introduce a new thing I'm doing for the series that will happen on Mondays and Fridays for sure. Wednesdays it's going to be a toss-up, and Wednesday videos will probably be up later than Monday and Monday and Friday videos, my bad. Let's go ahead and get started. Oh, cousin, you made it out of the ruins alive. This place is cold and spooky. Just look at that dubious building over there. I heard it's known as the Monster's Nest. That place gives me the creeps! And recently there have been reports about a mysterious swordsman prowling the area. I'm not saying I'm scared, okay? Anyway, it seems he dons a weird outfit and wields a strange sword. Still, his real power shouldn't be taken lightly. Be sure to keep your wits about you. Eek! Something just landed on my arm! Oh. A leaf? What's with that look on your face? Anyway, be careful. Once we get through this, we'll be at the foot of the Tower of Mistral. Good luck, Kyson. And that's all she has to say. No more tutorial stuff, we're out of it! And thus begins the bios. Yeah, starting this video, I'm going to be doing the bios while I'm going through the, dungeons, so, well, the regular dungeons. And right now, there's something amazing. If you're just now getting in the game, like right now, 2 times experience on the quest dungeons. So, that's exciting. So let's get to the bios, shall we? Okay, so to start with the bios, let's talk about one of the biggest units out there at the moment, Xion. He has a really strong unit in basically every aspect. His leader skill gives a 150% boost to attack and an 80% boost to max HP, on top of a 30% chance to ignore the enemy's defenses. Not to mention that he gives you 15% more experience after each dungeon. His extra skill just adds to his stats, increasing them by 10% from the get-go, with his stats increasing by an extra 0.5% for each 1% of HP he loses, equaling up to a total of 50% more to his stats. His Super Brave Burst is really powerful by giving your units a 170% boost to attack, defense, and recovery, as well as giving fire, water, earth, and thunder elements to your units. Definitely something I recommend if you don't want to worry about elemental resistances. Speaking of elemental resistances, his ultimate Brave Burst gives you an even larger 400% bonus to attack, defense, and recovery, on top of giving your units 100% mitigation from elemental damage. His ultimate gets even better as it instantly fills the overdrive gauge up by 50% immediately after using it, which means you can be using your ultimate even sooner again. If his skills and Brave Bursts were good, then wait until you look at his enhancements. Nearly everything he has access to is amazing. Personally, the route I'd go with for him would be giving him a 60% boost to his parameters, raising his attack parameter limits to 130,000, adding the light and dark elements to attack for 3 turns, and increasing his experience boost by an additional 5% for a total of 20% extra experience after each dungeon. An alternate setup I would have on him would be to give him that 40% boost to his stats and increasing his attack limits to 130,000 and making it so his Brave Burst gauge fills to max with his Brave Burst and Super Brave Burst. Overall, Shionne is probably one of the best units to have set as your leader, as it gives insane buffs to your other units, gives an experience boost to yourself, and will definitely help out your buddies. The next unit on the chopping block is a fan suggestion, which I would like to do more of these, so let me know which units, preferably ones without meat evolutions, you'd like to see me cover. Lara is a pretty decent support unit to have as part of your squad if you don't have other mitigating units available. Her leader skill probably isn't something you'd be going for, as it doesn't really do much and gets outclassed easily by other units. She gives a 50% boost to attack and max HP, with a 20% chance to reduce incoming damage by 20%, and she will always negate any attacks that have a defense ignoring effect to them. Her extra skill is decent, as she takes 25% less damage for 2 turns when her HP hits below 50%. And she does add a 35% boost to Brave and Heart Crystal drop rate to her Brave Burst and Super Brave Burst. One thing I want to note about her Brave Burst in comparison to her Super is that her Super drops the Great Restoration that was on her Brave Burst in exchange for a boost to attack and defense relative to recovery and a chance to hit off some damage taken. Other than that, they both greatly restore HP for 3 turns. Her ultimate is actually a pretty good one, with negating critical damage and elemental damage, and giving a 75% damage reduction, all of these for 3 turns, and interestingly enough, probably boosting the damage reduction when guarding for 5 turns. Not a lot going on outside of that though. So, some of you may have noticed that Lara doesn't really do a whole lot, but she actually can get quite a bit of extra skills going on, with the majority of her skills costing 10 or 20 skill points. The enhancements that I'd go with on her would probably be getting a 50% damage reduction for 1 turn, added to her Brave Burst and Super, the 20% boosts to attack, recovery, defense, and max HP, and the considerable boost to attack added to her Brave Burst and Super Brave Burst for 3 turns, all for a total of 90 skill points used. An alternate setup I could recommend would be all of her 10 and 20 skill point skills, aside from the extra enhancement of the Brave Burst gauge when attacked, which all of that would cost 100 skill points. Overall, Lara only becomes useful when she gets her enhancements, as she can do a lot, but she doesn't really excel at anything she does and gets outshined most of the time. One good thing to say about her though is that she can do a lot, just not exceptionally well. Okay. Really quick. Before we move on to the next bio and the next area, I do want to mention that I'm not sure if I mentioned this already in the previous video, but there's going to be a new logging campaign for the summer, starting July 15th and ending August 31st. And during that time, you can get a unit of choice, hence the entire reason why I'm doing all these unit bios. Also, maybe not this upcoming Friday, but in Monday's video, and next Friday's video, I'll be going over units that are, well, no, when they get released, the Monday and Friday then, I'll be going over units that are getting new Omni evolutions coming up soon. So, I did want to mention that really quick, so I'm going to really quickly do some more unit management and then go and do the next area, so give me just a moment. Okay, so let's move on to the next area, the last area of Mistral, and the last bio. Or not the last bio, the second last bio, the second bio of the video. Because I'm going to be doing 3, there's going to be 1 at the end before I sign off, so. We finally arrived at the Tower of Mistral. Even though the tower is still within Mistral, Maxima has already taken control of it. To be honest, the enemies we've encountered so far are nothing compared to Maxwell's subordinates. We need to be fully prepared to win this battle and free the tower from Maxwell's control. On the top floor awaits a monster said to have been created by Maxwell herself. But we can't afford having you getting crushed here. We're so far from St. Lamia, where Maxwell lies in wait. I'm sure you'll be alright. You even have my respect now. You have some confidence in yourself. Come on, Kaisen. Unleash your power and release Mistral from the clutches of evil. Such genericness. I mean, it is the first area, so I guess there's that. Anyway, on to the next bio. The third unit on my list to talk about today is another really powerful unit, typically used as a leader of the Colosseum. He also just happens to be a character you meet in a story in the game. Azurai is probably going to be on your team if you want to be dealing a lot of damage with the Bay Bursts. His leader skill is pretty simple, but it gets a pretty good job done. He boosts all units parameters by 40%, boosts critical damage by 175%, boosts Brave Force attack damage by 200%, and reduces all damage done by 10%. His extra skill, well, also simple, makes him pretty hard to take down in the Colosseum, especially if he is paired with other units to complement his extra skill. He straight up survives 1 KO attack no matter what when his HP falls below 20%, and he gains 1% more attack and defense for every 1% HP lost, making him become tankier the less HP he has. His super greatly reflects what he does with his leader skill, as it is basically an extension of that on top of quite a bit of damage. The units would get a 140% boost to their attack, defense, and recovery, a 60% boost to the critical hit rate, a 300% boost to the Brave Force attack, and a 75% boost to critical damage. One thing to note is that the damage of his super is a normal 400% damage anyway, but it also gets an added percentage to that depending on your HP, up to a maximum of an extra 400% more damage. Azurai's ultimate will actually probably help you out in a lot of tricky and hard dungeons or quests you might be having trouble with. On top of having a similar damage calculation as a super by up to 1000%, he allows your units to fully recover any and all damage done to them for 3 turns, boosts your unit's Brave Force attack by 1000% for 1 turn, and boosts the max HP by 35%. That's not a permanent boost to HP, but my resources out to me how long that lasts. In case you haven't noticed, Azurai is pretty much built to keep coming back from the brink of death and deal boatloads of damage, and this is really represented in his extra skills. The set of skills I'm likely to go with on him would probably be a 20% boost to all parameters, negating defense and growing damage, enhancing his leader skill parameter boost effect, and giving him an additional probable resistance against 1 KO attack just to be obnoxious in the Colosseum. Another set I can see myself using, should I obtain a second Azurai, would probably be the 20% boost, making it so normal attacks may hit all foes and enhancing that chance, and enhancing his super and ultimate attack boost effect. As I mentioned, Azurai primarily gets used in the arena. If you have him as not your leader and pair him with someone like Janice for your leader, he does get additional chances to survive more KO moves. He does have practical use outside of the arena for harder quests, as with his ultimate, he can heal off any damage dealt to your units. Overall, he is probably one of the best units to go with should you want to metagame the arena. the last unit of discussion is simultaneously another fan suggestion and one I was going to cover anyway. Honestly, I originally wasn't planning on talking about more than 3 units, but I have the time, so let's do it. While Azurai may have been the definition of ruthlessness and power, Ilm basically turns himself and whoever he's the leader for into a tank. Ilm's leader skill gives a 50% boost to defense and max HP, while boosting attack and defense relative to remaining HP. He also heals 25% HP in comparison to damage taken, and boosts the base attack of all units by 300% when they have over 50% HP. Ilm's extra skill reduces damage taken for 2 turns when his HP falls below 50%, much like Laura, interestingly enough. But he also greatly boosts his own attack and defense by 1% for 1% HP lost, for a total of 100% boost at max. Ilm's super reflects on being a tank by giving a straight up 50% damage reduction for 2 turns, dealing an additional 500% damage attack on enemies at the turn's end for 3 turns, boosting your units max HP by 25%, and boosting their attack and defense relative to their HP for 3 turns. Ilm's ultimate is one that I can see a lot of use for, but I'm not exactly sure how often Brave Burst sectors get used. He gives a water barrier with 25,000 HP to all units, fully restores all units' HP at the turn's end, boosts max HP by 35%, and boosts attack and defense by 35% relative to max HP for 3 turns. Much like with Lara, Ilm gets a lot of utility out of his extra skills, pretty much making it seem like no 2 Ilms are the same. The set I'll probably run on mine will be a 20% to 50% boost to all parameters, getting defense ignoring damage, and enhancing his leader skills defense and max HP boost effect. Another set of extra skills I can see being put on a more arena-based Ilm would probably be that 20 to 50% boost to parameters, and adding a resistance to 1 KO attack when HP is below 20%. He has one of the more costly parameter boosts extra skills, but I suppose that's to keep him a bit more balanced. In the end, Ilm basically turns their entire team, especially himself, into one big army of tanks. He can get a lot of utility out of his extra skills if you want to build him that way, or you can just put him on a squad with a Lara or a better unit. Ilm will probably be a unit I will wind up using frequently once I can build a full squad of Omni units. If you enjoy the unit bios and want to see more, let me know which units you want to see me do in a separate video, because there is no way I'm doing unit bios in a regular video again. Also, let me know if there is anything I missed when talking about the units, or how I can improve the unit bios when I decide to start doing the videos for them specifically. The more feedback I get from this, the sooner I will put out a video dedicated to unit bios. As a side note, I am aware that this video is going up on a Thursday, and there's a lot of references to this being recorded on a Monday. These unit bios took that long to do, so yeah, definitely not doing them in a regular video again. One last thing during this dungeon section that I want to note, there is a new summon gate available. It features units that are hard to get nowadays, so I do recommend going for it if you want some older legacy units such as Zelnite, Fong, Sheeta, Lilith, all those units, because it's a bunch of Omni potentials, but you're gonna get a bunch of other non-Omni potentials or units that may get Omni evolutions later on. So I do recommend going for it. Do give it a shot and do check it out. Okay, so here we are at the final boss of Mistral. I'm gonna do this for every boss. I'm gonna show it down to the original speed of everything. However, I'm not gonna do manual inputs. That would just take way too long, and no. So yes, here we have the Juggernaut. It's a Thunder Element, and it has 50,000 HP. I think I can one-shot it, or one-turn it. No problem. That's supposed to be like, okay, so let me put this in perspective for you. This game came out 3 years ago. The highest rarity back then was like, I think 5? I'm using 6-star minimums. No, I'm using 3-star minimums? 4-star minimums? One of the two. Also, let me address the gym issue really quick after this cutscene. Jesus. Or I guess Lucius? I don't know. Calm Lieutenant. You didn't need to yell there. Your battle with the Juggernaut was just awesome. You can proudly call yourself a skilled summoner now. Maybe you're Maxwell's born nemesis. No, there's no maybe about it. You must be the summoner destined to save Grand Gaia. Hey, could you show a bit more appreciation to someone who's praising you, couldn't you? Could you show a little more excitement? It's embarrassing being the other one hyped up over this. Oh, Lord Lucius is calling for us. Finally, we can make our way to Morgan. And here we go! We're going straight on to the next little area of the game. And between every area of the game, you get this slow, grueling cutscene with a shiny lights that we actually saw at the beginning of the game. I am Lucius, God of this gate. Kyson, Savior of Saint Lamia. Use my power and venture into new lands. Move forth and use your power to bring peace to this world. Wake up. Oh my gosh, I'm having Ocarina of Time flashbacks. Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just, a silent protagonist. Oh, Jesus, don't yell at me. I'm sorry. I apologize. And we're now in Morgan. Which is a really weird name for a place, but okay. Jeez, you sleep way too much. I agree, I sometimes do sleep way too much. As someone who can wake up as late as 2 in the afternoon, I will agree with you there, Kenneth. I will very much agree with you there. What? Where are we? This is Morgan. Morgan! Isn't it wonderful? The gates to Morgan are finally open. Finally, huh? Morgan. This place was once famous for its picturesque scenery. But many years have passed, and it has since fallen into the hands of Maxwell. Monsters here are much stronger than those in Mistral. We don't know what awaits us, so it's probably better if you return to your village and prepare. I'll be waiting here. Let's head towards the Tower of Morgan when you get back, and there we can free this land. Well then, see you later. And we're not gonna go there quite yet. We're gonna do that. Maybe Wednesday? If not Wednesday, definitely Friday. So yeah, a couple of things I want to address really quick. Gym issue. Yeah, apparently it doesn't like counting gyms between Android and Windows. However, any gyms I acquire on Windows, I still have on my Android. So that's a thing that's probably an issue only for people who like to go back and forth. So yeah, that's nothing to really worry about. That's just a mild inconvenience. Second, you may have noticed a little bit of difference in energy between the first 3 parts of the last place and the last 2 parts. Or first part, I don't know. I actually had to wait a little bit for my energy to restore before I could continue. So yeah, I think needless to say, I'm gonna be recording on Sundays and Thursdays for Monday and Friday videos. Wednesdays will probably still be recorded on Wednesdays, so because in case there's an update. So there's that. Anything else I want to address? Not really.